Greetings, family. Peace, love, and positive thinking. This is Guru. Thanks for visiting my channel. I really appreciate it. This vlog is about the former Alaska reporter, Charlo Green, who now faces 54 years in jail for her pot club. So, family, this photo here was taken back in February of 2015. This photo is a photo of Charlo Green, who was standing with Peter Lomanico, who was the co-founder of the Alaska Cannabis Club, and Charlo Green, who is the CEO, shares a joint at their medical marijuana dispensary in Anchorage, Alaska. So, family, let's go to the story. So, family, Charlo Green made headlines in 2014 when the then 26-year-old memorably quit her TV reporting gig on air while announcing her intention to push for the legalization of marijuana in Alaska. She said, "F it, I quit," before walking out of view. But as The Guardian reports, her ensuing off-screen plight has been largely ignored, even though she faces more than a half century in prison. That's because Green, whose legal name is Charlene Egby, isn't just a cannabis advocate, but the owner of the Alaska Cannabis Club, which she created on April 20th, 2014, a full 6 months before Alaska voted to legalize the adult use of cannabis. In other words, she was receiving, quote, donations, unquote, for marijuana through club memberships before it was legal to do so. So, family, I gotta comment on that for a minute. Okay? Actually, family, before I comment, let's go to the original video. I want to show you the video if you haven't seen it. I'm sure you have. But let's look at it one more time, just for vintage.
Now, everything you heard is why I, the actual owner of the Alaska Cannabis Club, will be dedicating all of my energy toward fighting for freedom and fairness, which begins with legalizing marijuana here in Alaska. And as for this job, well, not that I have a choice, but fuck it, I quit. All right, we apologize for that. We'll be right back. Pardon for us. Meanwhile, the vote yes.
Now, family, here's the point I want to make, because I think it's really a bad thing. When here it is in other states. I'm just going to give you an example. Here it is in other states where marijuana wasn't so much legal at the time, but there were cannabis clubs popping up left and right. I can't tell you how many popped up in California. And in California, when they popped up, these people were doing business. They were, as a matter of fact, some of them were even selling to 18-year-olds, and at times we even learned that they were selling to minors who were under 18. I'm just saying this was going on. They were not black owned, but they were cannabis clubs operating when marijuana was not legalized. They were working on it. So a lot of those people made money. And here it is in Alaska. They're trying to make an example of this yet again, another black person, where they're trying to make an example out of her and charging her with 54 years. Now, the thing I wanted to ask is, why are they not including Mr. Peter Lomanico, since he is the co-founder of this cannabis club? He should be looking at 54 years also. He is the co-founder. I just read that to you. That's what they put in print. So the question is he looking at 54 years also? Because he should be. He's the co-founder. So again, as I said, I know for a fact there were cannabis clubs that were open before it was legalized out here in California. And the point is, they were operating without being legal. And so you guys are running a system, this government, this just so-called justice system. You guys in each one of these states are running crooked systems where you are penalizing black Americans, and we are the examples that you hold to your so-called justice system. You make us the examples. And again, I ask the question, why isn't this white guy, who is the co-founder of this cannabis club, why isn't he looking at 54 years also? Because the article isn't mentioning at all. But I digress. Let's get back to the article so we can end this off. We'll see if it's addressed. Police raided the club twice and detectives made several undercover purchases. And though Green wasn't directly involved in them, do you hear this? State prosecutors are charging her because the club is registered under her name. This is so foul. This is white people I swear it's white supremacy at its ultimate worst. You guys do this every single time. It's so freaking pathetic. So she pleaded not guilty to charges of misconduct involving a controlled substance. Okay, so they wanted her to get charged with something, right? So they trump up all kinds of different charges. So you're at least charged with something. You know they have to charge you with something. This is how this justice system works. And white people, when you keep throwing up why the jails are filled with black people, understand why. It's your crooked ass system. It's your crooked ass system. It is your crooked ass system why so many black people are in your jails and prisons. That's why. Okay. She pleaded not guilty to charges of misconduct involving a controlled substance, and the original indictment listed 8 offenses that amounted to a possible 24 years in jail. I did happen to see some other vlogs earlier on this subject where people had mentioned that she was looking at 24 years. Even as early as 3 days ago, a vlogger had reported that. But no, they've updated that. They've updated it to 54 years. So she is looking at 54 years. Now, The Guardian broke the news to Green that 6 offenses have since been added, raising the total to 54 years. In the Weed blog, Green calls this a, quote, modern day lynching, unquote. I'll repeat it. Modern day lynching. And tells High Times that she hopes the cannabis community rallies behind her. I hope so too. The cannabis community is large. They should rally behind her because she has done exactly what they've done. Except they're not looking at 54 years. That's the difference. Oh, and the fact that she happens to be black. And how dare her open up a cannabis club being a black person. How dare her? Let's give her 54 years. Okay. So, quote, I need help more than ever, unquote, she says. Quote, now that I could lose the rest of my life because of cannabis, it feels like the people I fought for have abandoned me, unquote. Alaskans can't smoke weed in public, but listen to what she says. I need help more than ever, she says, now that I could lose the rest of my life because of cannabis. It feels like the people I fought for have abandoned me. You know, this is exactly what happens to black people, especially when we put so much faith behind other people that don't look like us. We think that they got our back. And then they'll come on and what gets me is they'll come on and they'll try to defend everything, and they'll say, "Oh, you're just spreading this and that, and it's you." But you see what she says. She says that she feels that the people she fought for has abandoned her. That's not me. I'm just exposing what she's saying. I'm exposing a reality, how black people go through this with dealing with you guys. You guys say things, you guys talk a good talk. You write a good response in my comment section. And by the way, I think with some of the racist trolls, I think I'm gonna start, instead of me deleting them directly, I might start exposing them, like some other vloggers I've seen them do. Have a comedy section. Well, have a comedy segment where I do vlogs exposing some of their trash and filth. But anyways, family, I'm gonna end this vlog here. Charlotte Green, out of Alaska, former Alaska reporter, is now looking at 54 years in jail, family, for creating a pot club with so many other people of other races are doing all across the United States, and they're able to pull in hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. But because this black woman of Alaska started something, she was the pioneer of starting something that I can tell you that is probably exploding now in Alaska. But because she started something, and being a black woman and daring, being a brave and courageous black woman at that, daring to do what they do, she's looking at 54 years. Never mind her co-founder, this little, the white guy standing next to her. No, never mind him. He's not even in the equation. You notice how they didn't even discuss him in the equation, other than just pointing out the fact that he's a co-founder. This is the system that we operate and live under. Family, if you like this video, please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Really appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Peace, love, and positive thinking. This is Guru, and until next time, I'm out.